Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Dr.NostalgiaGamer. Today I'm going to be doing another video game room tour update video. Today I'm going to be doing a game room tour of my Xbox 360, Wii, PS3, and interestingly enough, my Hyperscan collection. That's what I'll be covering today, is that generation of games. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, so let's start off with a pan of my Xbox 360 stuff, and then as usual, I'll pick out probably my top 3 or top 5 favorites in every game section. So anyways, let's start with the pan of the Xbox 360 stuff. So I'm going to have to move some stuff so that you guys can see everything. I've got pretty much every Halo game, most of the Call of Duty games, if not all of them. The Xbox 360 was probably one of the biggest systems I played as a kid. I love the Xbox 360, and I played it a lot as a kid. I didn't have the PS3. I went from being a PS2 guy to being a Xbox 360 person. Like I said, unfortunately, I didn't play the PlayStation 3, which I regret now as an adult, since I do own PlayStation 3 stuff, because the PlayStation 3 is a really good system with loads of great stuff. So I do kind of regret that now, that I don't, that I never really got a chance to play the PlayStation 3 back when it was in its hype. So anyway, so this is my Xbox 360 collection. I have a total of 61 games, it looks like, for the Xbox 360. Not one of my bigger collections, but it's not my smallest either, by any means. Got a few loose games there, nothing super special. But yeah, so that's the Xbox 360 collection, and next up is going to be my top favorites out of my Xbox 360 collection. Okay, so top 5 favorite Xbox 360 games. Here we go. So first up at number 5, we have Assassin's Creed, the original. This game was kick-ass. I loved it. The graphics were just amazing to me. This was the game that really got me into the Assassin's Creed series, and to me, it's still today probably one of the best of the entire series. I remember being really impressed with the length of the game. I thought it was super long. It required a lot of strategy and playing. I just thought it was really cool. I loved the game. I loved the style of it. I was really impressed with the storyline and the concept. I remember being really impressed with sort of the concept behind the game, the fact that somebody came up with this idea, because I loved history. At this time in my life, I was a huge history fan, and I just thought it was really cool that they incorporated history and modernity all into one big, awesome game. So anyway, so Assassin's Creed, the original, that's my 5th favorite Xbox 360 game. 4th favorite Xbox 360 game is going to be Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. I absolutely adored the Modern Warfare series. Specifically, the first one's probably my favorite. Playing with Captain Price as the sniper is probably one of my favorite Call of Duty missions ever. I just think that the older games, not like the really old ones like the original PC games, but some of the older games, honestly, I just think they kicked the butt out of the newer ones. I mean, the newer ones have beautiful graphics, really cool stylization, and the more modern stuff is great. I mean, that's all great and stuff, but I like the original games. I just think they look better. I think they play better. I just think they're funner. Anyway, so the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare, or Call of Duty 4, it was kind of a confusing title. I remember picking this game up and just being enthralled with it. I absolutely loved it. I loved specifically the sniper scenes with Captain Price. I will always remember that, and it will always be one of my fonder video game memories, is playing that. Huge fan of this game, and I'm excited that I still own it today. As a kid, I got this game. Less kid, more teenager. But as a teenager, I got this game, and I still have it today because, like I said, it was one of my favorites. So number 3 is going to be Call of Duty Black Ops, the original. This was the first game in the Black Ops series. I think it's Black Ops 3 is the newest one, and that actually just recently came out. So this is the original Black Ops. Really loved this game. Thought it was well developed. Thought it was a really interesting take on the Call of Duty series too. I was not a huge fan of the zombies. I've never been a huge survival horror fan, although it's growing on me now. But I was always thought the zombies was just a little bit too scary, and I thought it was weird because it was so far from the original, Call of Duty franchise. The fact they have a zombie series, but anyway, the original Black Ops is really cool. It was well designed, really good cinematics in the game, really good graphics. I just think that overall it was a really well designed game. I remember when I picked this one up, I was really excited to have it. So anyway, so that's my third of my Xbox 360 games. My second place is going to be Halo 3. I have, I think, almost all of the Halo games ever released on the Xbox 360. I absolutely adore Halo as a franchise. It's actually Halo 5 is the reason why I bought an Xbox One. I wanted to play Halo 5 Guardians, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I got the Xbox One. I actually got the Halo Master Chief Edition Xbox One that came with the digital download of all of the Halo games, all of the mainline Halo games, and then I purchased Halo 5 and played that separately. But anyway, so I really wanted to be able to play that game. I wanted to be able to play the series, especially since for years and years and years, Bungie was talking about stopping the Halo series and how they were done making games, and they just kept pumping games out, despite the fact that they kept saying they were going to stop making them. Anyway, Halo 3, I remember, was one of the first Halo games I ever really played to its full extent, and I really, really liked it. I remember this was like the game that really got me hooked on Halo, was this particular game, and I loved it. I loved the online play. This was one of the first games I ever was really into playing online, and I've never really been a big online gamer, but this game is one of the few that I played a lot online, and I really, really liked it. It's a shame that that games of this quality aren't made anymore. It's just such a shame. But anyway, so I really like that game. I'm really excited to have it. Anyway, on to my top most favorite, and that is Halo Reach. People have mixed opinions on Halo Reach, but personally, Halo Reach is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Halo game ever made. I don't know why. I know that a lot of people complain that it's a lot different from the original Halo games, but I absolutely adore the storyline of this game, and I really, 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 really love the online multiplayer. I played this game online more than I think any other game I've ever played in my life. I loved specifically SWAT. SWAT online, where it was one shot to the head is a kill or two shots to the chest is a kill, and everybody's got the same two weapons, and everybody's running around hiding, trying to protect their heads so that nobody can shoot them. I loved that game because I love the fact that you could snipe from across the arena, hit somebody in the head, and immediately kill them. I just thought that was really cool. It was very intense, very cool gameplay. Me and my sister used to play this one on Xbox Live all the time, and I just remember, I think this is probably my favorite Xbox 360 game. It's definitely one of my favorite Halo games, if not my favorite. But anyway, so that's it for my Xbox 360 collection. Now we will move on to the Wii. Alright, so time for the Wii collection is going to be next. The Wii was a system I played a lot as a kid, but I didn't have that many games for it, and I really didn't like a lot of the games that I did have. I only like to select a few of them. But anyway, so let's do a pan of the Wii. All my Wii stuff. I have a total of, 54 Wii games. I like the Wii because, much like the PlayStation 1 where you can get a lot of stuff cheap, the Wii is kind of in that ballpark too, unless, of course, it says Mario on it. If it has anything to do with Mario, and you go to a GameStop, even as of the time of this video, you're going to pay probably $30, $40 for a used Wii Mario game, which is really sad because the Wii is an old system, and they just shouldn't be selling games for that much money just because of the fact that it's a Mario game. But anyway, unfortunately, there's a lot of really cool Mario games on the Wii that I wanted to pick up. I just really haven't had the opportunity because they've just been way too expensive to buy used. So I typically buy really cheap stuff. GameStop has been really good about they have lots of Wii games that they sell for it's like 89 cents or something. And probably close to a third or more of these games I bought at GameStops for less than $1. Because I went by there and noticed they had a lot of stuff and was like, hey, hell yeah, I'm going to buy a whole bunch of stuff and spend like $20 and get like 20 or 30 new games. It was a no-brainer for me. But anyway, so next up is going to be my top favorite Wii games. Alright, on to the top 5 favorite Wii games. Starting off at number 5, we have a game I just picked up recently. We have Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. This game's pretty cool. It's nothing super special. I'll admit that one of my biggest things about Wii games, some of my favorite Wii games, as you guys will see, are games where you can use Pro controllers and GameCube controllers. Because I do not like the Wiimote. I don't like the style of swinging the Wiimote around to do things. I just don't like it. I'm a controller person. I like controls. I like normal controllers. I've spent my entire life playing mostly normal controllers, and trying to play with a little nunchuck and Wii thing and trying to swing it around, I just don't like it. But anyway, so like I said, my fifth game is going to be Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Pretty cool concept game. It's actually one of the only Metroid games I think I own, actually, which is really sad because I know the Metroid series is awesome. But anyway, it's overall, it's pretty cool. It's got all of the main features of a Metroid game. Like I said, it's only usable with the Wiimote, unfortunately, but it works, and it's a good game. So, and like I said, the Wii had a lot of not so great games. So, sometimes it's hard to pick out from the Wii. Number 4 is going to be Zelda, Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. The reason why I don't put this one higher is because of this right here. The fact that you have to use the Wiimote. This is a really cool game, and some people actually consider this to be one of the really, really good games in the Zelda franchise. I know this one came out on the Wii U, and a lot of people say the Wii U version is a lot better because you can use a controller instead of using the stupid Wiimotes. If this game was compatible with the Pro Controller and or a GameCube controller, I think this one would be much higher on my list, because I don't like having to swing the sword around. I don't like the aiming of the bow and arrow. I'm just not a big fan. Really cool storyline, though. Really interesting take on the Zelda franchise. And it's a really cool game, and it's a Zelda game. How can you not put a Zelda game as being one of your favorite games in a series? I mean, Zelda is just so cool. It's just so... I love the gold on the front of it, too. That's really cool. I like the way they designed the disc and everything like that. And this even the front of it's got kind of a shine to it. But anyway, so a really cool game, and I'm excited to have it in my collection. My third favorite Wii game is going to be Donkey Kong Country Returns. I was really excited when I found out this game existed because I like the Donkey Kong Country series on the SNES, and it was really cool to be able to play it on the Wii. Now, this is one of the few games I can say actually does work pretty darn well with the Wiimote. I don't mind this one so much using the Wiimote, because a lot of the controls are not incredibly focused on using the Wiimote. It's just, you just sort of use it as a normal controller. But anyway, so I really like this game. It's a lot of fun. It's, it's relatively difficult, and I got a really, I actually own the Prima strategy guide for this game, too, that I picked up really cheap at the yard sale, and it came with an awesome poster. So, anyway, so this is a game I really enjoy on the Wii. Like I said, there are a whole lot of games on the Wii that I would highly, highly recommend, but that's one of them that I really like. Second favorite Wii game is going to be a game I actually just recently did a review on, Super Mario Galaxy 2. I actually read reviews of this game online, and a lot of people consider this to be one of the best Mario games ever made, and some people actually call it one of the best video games ever made. My only qualm about it is, once again, I sound like a broken record, the fact that it is only usable with the Wiimote. I do not like games specifically that use the Wiimote too much. However, this game does it really well. The only real functionality of the Wiimote that you really have to worry about is pulling the trigger to fire the stars to stun enemies, which isn't terribly difficult. So this game actually really isn't so bad when it comes to Wiimote usage. It actually works really well with the Wiimote, which is one of the reasons why I really, really like this game. I got this game super cheap. I think I paid a couple dollars for it, and it's a really awesome game. Super Mario. It's a Super Mario game. It's a Galaxy game. And I really like it. I've been really impressed with it so far. The graphics are absolutely stunning, especially for the Wii. For the Wii, this game is beautiful, and it blows my mind that game came out on the Wii. Anyway, so finally, my favorite Wii game of all time is Mario Kart Wii. I freaking adore this game. Me and my sister and a lot of my friends played the crap out of this game when I was a teenager. I loved it, loved it, loved it. Me and my sister would compete so hardcore over this game it wasn't even funny. Me and her would, so often would me and her compete in this game, and we would go back and forth, because we had both gone all the way through the game and beaten it completely on the same level of difficulty, and I mean, we absolutely adored it. We all got gold stars in all of the levels. We worked really hard at this game, and we would compete really hardcore at this game. And we just loved it. Even family and friends would come over. One of the reasons why I love this game is if you look up here, you can see all the things that are usable with it. I think this is one thing that Nintendo really missed out on, was not making more games that were compatible with more controller types to make it so that your player could choose what they wanted to use. So this one uses the Wiimote, or the Wiimote plus the nunchuck. It uses the little steering wheel, which is probably one of my favorite ways to do it. It uses the Pro Controller, and it uses the GameCube controller. Between these two, I'd probably give a slight edge over the GameCube controller, but I really, really like the wheel too. I think it works really well. Anyway, so this is my favorite Wii game. Absolutely adore it. It's actually still pretty valuable. I think GameStop still to this day sells this game for like 30 or 40 bucks, which is just absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, it's a really good game. I can kind of understand though because the game is so awesome. It's probably my favorite Mario Kart game I've ever played. Now I haven't played all that many. I played 64 and SNES and this one, and I haven't actually played the one on the GameCube. But I think this is probably one of my favorite Mario Kart games ever, and it's definitely one of my favorite Wii games. So that's my top favorite Wii games. Next, I will go ahead and move on to my PS3 and Hyperscan stuff. Next up is going to be my PlayStation 3 / Hyperscan collection. I say collection loosely with Hyperscan because I've only got the 2 games you see in the original Xbox cases there. Hyperscan actually came in boxes, sort of like NES or SNES games. So I don't even know if they had original cases or not. But anyway, I don't have cases or boxes or anything like that, so they're just sort of sitting in random, the random green original Xbox cases. I've only got 2 games. I've got Ben 10 and I've got X-Men, and I'll show you guys both those here in a little bit. Anyway, let's move on to the PlayStation 3 stuff. That's the stuff that I'm a little bit more proud of. I have 66 PlayStation 3 games, most of which I paid very, very little for, just a couple dollars a piece. I'll go and do a pan for you guys of those. PlayStation 3 is probably one of my favorite of the newer systems to collect for. It's easy to get the stuff relatively cheap, and you can get a lot of really good stuff. Lots of really, really killer games. Like, for example, this is actually the system that I have Grand Theft Auto 5 on. I actually got that for free when I bought my system. I bought it used off of a like Craigslist type site and got it really, really cheap. So, and here's row 2 of the PlayStation 3 stuff. Probably one of my medium-sized collections. It's not my biggest. It's definitely not my smallest. It's probably one of my medium-sized collections. But, yeah, lots of good stuff kind of hidden back there. Fallout and things of that nature. And then, like I said, as I said before, I've got Grand Theft Auto 5, which is probably one of the best I own. But so anyway, so now we're going to move on to the top favorite PlayStation 3 games that I own. Alright, so now I'm going to be doing my top favorite PS3 games, top 5. So to start off with, we will look at L.A. Noire. This is a Rockstar game, same company that made all of the Grand Theft Auto games. This game's really cool, and it's a really cool concept. It actually reminds me a lot of, if you haven't seen it yet, you can go check out my review of Murdered Soul Suspect. It reminds me a lot of that game. Now, it's very different in a lot of ways, but the actual idea behind the game, the fact that you're playing as a, in this case, I think it's like a 1940s or 1950s detective, and you have to run around scenes, finding clues and putting things together. It's really cool. I don't typically like games like this, but this game and Murdered Soul Suspect kind of won my heart a little bit. This is really, really good graphics, really cool game. The crime scenes are very realistic and actually make a lot of sense. So anyway, so this is a pretty cool little game. Definitely would recommend you pick up this one and play it on the PlayStation 3. Next up is going to be one game that got me into a series, and that's Killzone 2. Really cool game on the PlayStation 3. This game actually got me into the Killzone series, which unfortunately the most recent one has been Killzone Shadowfall, which definitely was a big letdown. I think it was actually one of the release games with the PlayStation 4, and it was just did not live up to people's expectations. I think Killzone 2 is probably the best one I've ever played. I own Killzone 2, Killzone 3, and Killzone Shadowfall. I don't own the original Killzone, I don't believe. But I think Killzone 2 is probably my favorite out of the series. This actually got me into the series. I played this game and Killzone 3 all the way through. I have almost beaten Killzone Shadowfall, but I just haven't taken the time to actually finish it up. But anyway, really like this game. Definitely would recommend it. Great shooter on the PlayStation 3 and a good game with great graphics. My third favorite game on the PlayStation 3 is going to be Fallout 3. This was actually the game that got me into the Fallout series, which is the reason why I so highly anticipated Fallout 4, and I played it and beat it and just absolutely adore that game on the PlayStation 4. But anyway, so this game is really cool. I really, really like it. I think it's probably one of the better of the Fallout games, honestly. I think Fallout 4, out of what I've played, Fallout 4 is probably one of the best, but this game would definitely be a close second. I really like this game. This got me into the Fallout series, which is the reason why I actually went out and bought more older Fallout games and then went out and bought Fallout 4 as soon as I could. Anyway, so this is a really good game. I really enjoy it. Most people know about the Fallout series, so I don't feel like I probably need to explain that to you guys. But it's a really cool series. Really like it. Interesting concept. I love the manual, too. The the Vault Dweller Survival Guide. I just think things like that are cool when developers do that. So it's a really good game. Highly, highly recommended on the PlayStation 3. My second favorite PlayStation 3 game on my second favorite PlayStation 3 game is going to be Grand Theft Auto 5, which unfortunately I have loose because I got this game for free with my system when I bought it used. He didn't have the case, but he had the game. But anyway, so this is a really, really fun game. Really love Grand Theft Auto 5. It's probably one of the most graphically stunning games on the PlayStation 3. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love this game. I've played it all the way through, and I find myself going back over and over and over again just to blow shit up, just to shoot people, just to get wanted by the cops and the military and have police helicopters with snipers shooting at me and me shooting down helicopters and all. I mean, I absolutely adore this game, and I find myself coming back to it over and over again, which is why I have this one as being my second favorite, with my number one favorite all-time PlayStation 3 game being The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. This game is just amazing. And I think I just recently read in the most recent issue of Game Informer, they did a RPG. They did the top 100 best RPGs of all time, across all systems and PC and everything. And I believe this game was awarded number one as the best RPG of all time, and I completely agree. This game is amazing. I absolutely adore it. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time. Definitely probably my favorite RPG, but it's one of my favorite games of all time. And I just really, really, really like this game. It's really well designed. The graphics are amazing, and it's so much fun to play this game. I actually don't think I've quite beaten it yet. I think it's sort of like Killzone. I'm on the Killzone Shadowfall. I'm on the very last level, and I just haven't kind of had the balls yet to go back and play it. I just haven't had the time really to go back and play it, but I just never actually finished the game up. Anyway, it's still one of my favorite games of all time. I absolutely adore this game, and I would 150,000% recommend you pick up and play this game if you haven't already, because it's just a really, really good, amazing game. Alright guys, so that's it for this episode of Dr. NostalgiaGamer. I hope you guys enjoyed this video game room tour video on the Xbox 360, Wii, Hyperscan, and PS3 stuff. I really enjoyed shooting this video for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I hope you guys will leave a like, a comment, and hit the subscribe button, and I will catch you guys next time.